like Neighbors?
No. No.
See, look how I transitioned so smoothly into that.
The thing is, the thing I respect about Neighbors is it could be
worse.
No, I'm not sure that it could be. The thing that I respect about Neighbors is that if it was a metaphor, it could be really interesting.
Okay.
But again, it's another show where we're pointing at each other's differences. And yes,
aliens.
no, but I'm saying, but the aliens point at
then.
the humans' differences. But regardless of whether it's a race, a gender, a sexuality, we're basically saying you're weird because you're different. Works both ways on Neighbors. The aliens say we're weird, the humans say that they're weird, but the point is they're still it's like what if they weren't aliens next door? What if they were foreign exchange students? The humor would be the same thing. It would be like you're weird because your culture is different than ours. Well, really, why don't we learn some tolerance? And I know that the point of Neighbors is supposed to be that that's what happens over the course of the season because they get to know each other as people or beings or whatever you want to call them, creatures, and they start to see that they're not all that different. But right now, that's where they're at, and I just can't. It just bothers me. It just does. And I love Jamie Gertz. Like I loved Still Standing. I was one of those people.
You were one of the 4 people.
Yeah, and I hate sitcoms, and I loved Still Standing because I think she's great, and I'm glad to see her back on TV. But I don't think it's funny, and there are a lot of like weird quirks about it because it's aliens. Let's be honest, it's going to be weird and quirky, right? But I just don't think it's weird and quirky in a smart way. It feels like it's made for children because let's be honest, Dan Fogelman has a great background in children's projects and family-friendly films with Disney and Pixar. And that's not a dig at him, and that's not a dig at kids programming. But I don't want to watch kids programming. And it feels like if you're a child, you'll laugh. You'll think it's cute and funny, and that's not for me.
Can I just say that when we started this conversation, I didn't think we were going to alien-human tolerance issues. I did not think
because,
that.
you know why I say that? Because I was
just
also...
that was not
I will say that because when
up.
you talk to the cast and when you talk to Dan, which I have...
not.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
they equate it to cultural differences. The way that they say, what if they were from another country? They were the ones that pointed that out.
Okay.
And so then I say, well, then it's more offensive.
I feel like that's them trying to give it weight that it doesn't have.
Perhaps.
And honestly, I think that's making it worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that you
Because-
never should have drawn that
Because then you're kind
comparison.
of being a-holes. Yeah, censoring myself. Being good in case they're little wee children.
Well, there will
I
be
hope
because
the
little wee children will watch Neighbors, and honestly,
And that's
the little wee children are great parts about Neighbors. The kid actors are great little actors. I think they are adorable, but I don't.
Now I'm being terrible to children.
No, not really. It's not their fault.
I mean, no, but
they need to go to college. They need to work.
No, but in the interest of being honest, and in the interest of I'm trying to think how not to say this without being a total
But
meanie.
we're just
but I was
our
saying, quite
opinions. We're
frankly,
allowed to be
I
mean.
feel like the kids on that show are the worst kids of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't.
I
think they're
I don't know their
fine.
names.
I don't know their
unfortunately, but the 2 little human kids,
they're fine enough, but
the little boy, I think he's gonna be a big star someday. Not because of this show,
Right.
But I think they're very cute.
I mean,
All right.
I think they're fine, but I feel like, the little girls on, for instance, on the good shows, on
Well, but
New
they- but
Normal
that's-
and Ben and Kate.
It's also the content they're given. I think if you're given better stuff, you're given more
But
of
it's like, look at
ability to.
I'm trying to think what her name is. The young little girl on New Normal who ad-libbed a line. One of the best lines
Oh,
of the
did
pilot.
she?
She ad-libbed that not liking his outfit. And it's like,
I didn't know
if
that.
you're a good
You're just smart.
if like you're a good actor's mind, yes, you can't make the best thing out of terrible writing.
Right.
But you can still make something good. Whereas like I looked at those kids and I'm like, these poor kids are stuck in the show for as long as lasts. And look, I will
So
say
3 weeks.
I don't, not thing. I could see The Neighbors being a hit, and I don't think it's the worst show on ABC this year.
Fall.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the worst fall show.
No, but that's what I was asking because
because they've got
I don't-
Nashville, Last Resort, and 666.
And then Malibu Country is coming later in the year. But I think Malibu Country honestly has a huge audience because of Reba and because again they're trying to build that TGIF brand,
Right.
which Kevin Abbott hates. But
And quite frankly, I feel like The Neighbors could fit into that TGIF brand.
yes, and that is why I don't like it. Part of why I don't like it because that's not my type of programming. And
No,
that
I
was
mean-
my type of programming
right
15
And I mean,
years
for
ago.
me, I feel
20
like
years
the show,
ago.
I don't feel like it's good. I don't feel like it's offensively bad in that.
Right,
in
it's
that,
not working.
In that it's just.
Small miracles. Small miracles.
And you know what? I'll say it. It's not Family Tools, which I think is just so.
Oh my god, I forgot about Family
That's
Tools.
the worst show on TV this year.
I don't know that I would say it's the worst,
The worst
but
comedy.
I will be
It's the
honest,
worst
and I
comedy,
totally forgot about it, and that's not a good sign
there's
either.
there's a couple of really bad dramas that are so bad they could be comedies.
But that, I mean, well,
but
but
no,
Family Tools, we're not there yet, so we don't want to get too
no,
into
no.
that.
But I'm
yeah.
just saying that it's not offensively unfunny where it's like, how is this ever made? I can see why it's made.
Sure.
I can see, and I think the best thing ABC did was moving it from the 9:30 slot because it's not appropriate for
No, not at all.
If you're going to get an audience, most likely you're going to get a child audience, and it'll
Exactly,
be better fit
exactly.
after the middle, which is still more adult than the Neighbors, but it feels like it's a much more natural fit there. I mean, there was it's sport. I love my sports athletes, so I guess it's kind of amusing that there are names.
It's not just sports athletes, it's just strong individuals that they were admiring, that they named their children after.
Okay.
So I don't know if that makes you change your mind.
No, it is what it is. It's quirky. Again, it's not going to surprise me if it's a hit. Like, it's one of those things where I could see people tuning in and feeling like they want to watch, we've seen alien comedies be hits. Like, Third Rock from the Sun, Alf, Mork and Mindy.
How many years ago?
Again,
that's
it
what I'm
feels very
saying. A
dated.
lot of
So
these
you
my
never-
issues is
you
that
never know what's going to. I mean, I feel like at least this is more original-ish than something like Partners.
Sure.
Which again,
Yes.
Partners had the originality
No,
issue. Because
okay.
there's another Fox show called
No.
Partners, which had a similar thing, which we didn't even get into that. But I just feel like this is something. It's not good. I feel like I feel like there's so much I feel like there is some terribleness, and just like I watched it and I was like a little defeated, quite frankly, because
because there were, there's development season every year. There are hundreds of shows, and then they make less actual physical pilots, but there were still pilots that were made from scripts that I preferred strongly.
I mean, and I just feel like there are so many. I think I was watching them in the point where I was just like, there are so many terrible shows this year. Like, there are some. We've said this before. There are some really bad shows.
Well, sure.
There are some really bad shows, and I just felt like this is just basically lazy. Like, you're gonna go.
Well,
I feel like they're
it's
gonna
less
go,
of a risk. I mean,
I feel like they're gonna go for the cheap laughs.
yeah, a lot of networks.
And Polly, we have
don't
to
wanna
talk
risk.
about your taste because.
No, wait. See, here's the thing, and I said this on a podcast recently, and I'll say it again only because I think I think if Paul Lee is going to give us quality programming like Nashville, I will give him his opportunity to give us a Neighbors. Because if you look at, you know what I mean, like the Neighbors may not last, but and neither may Nashville, quite frankly. But if he's willing to take risks on smart shows like Last Resorts and Nashville and even 666, I'm willing to say, well, then you know what?
Part of your so in brand with ABC, it's not.
It is,
funny.
but I mean, but at the same time,
That's not an insult. I like
horror is a concept that networks wouldn't touch for a really long time. So at a certain point, it's still a risk. Well, it's still a risk compared to what anything CBS does.
Yeah, but ABC, look what ABC excels in that kind of stuff.
But that's what I'm saying.
I know,
I'm willing to give him
that.
his one or two where I think it's not as highbrow, but if he's going to give us.
I just feel like at this point he wants to sit there at those TTA sessions and laugh at us. Like, I don't feel like he actually has faith in these shows. I feel like he wants to sit there and be like, look what I've made you guys watch.
So
Work it.
I believe he genuinely enjoyed Work It, and I believe that is just a difference in humor.
Taste.
It's just
all I'm saying.
It's a difference in humor, but at the same time, Work It didn't last. He took that, and that was a huge risk because it was awful. He took the risk; it didn't last. He canceled it. He didn't make us watch it for 8 years the way that CBS puts on sitcoms, and they never go away, even though they do the same thing and their characters have not evolved. I mean, let's be honest. Rules of Engagement is a quintessential offender in that area because their characters still never got married. Like Pilot, they were working on the titular engagement. They are still working towards getting the actual marriage 7 years later, because they're
You can clearly see how much I watch Rules of Engagement. My reaction to that.
Well, what I'm saying is, it is your archetypal sitcom where your humor is found in the crazy thing that happens that week, and it doesn't matter if your characters grow or evolve, and you can flip on any.
Writing. I'm sorry.
But that's what sitcom. But that's also what situation comedy. That's the definition of situation comedy. Is the situation is what you laugh at. The characters flit in and out, and there doesn't have to be a through line. There should be a through line to be a smart sitcom, but there doesn't always have to be. And years ago there wasn't.
I mean, but look at
I Love Lucy. Other than the pregnancy episode season, because you have to arc out a baby. You could have moved those around and aired those in any order, and it wouldn't have made a difference.
Right, but there's also good writing in that. Whereas
I'm just saying the format.
But this is completely off topic. So this is probably end up getting cut. But my thing is that
It's Film School 101.
We're gonna cut off Danielle. But no, the thing is with this, in terms of comedy, you can't have something. It's like How I Met Your Mother. How I Met Your Mother was, for instance, if we were in the same,
We still haven't met that
we
mother.
still haven't met the mother.
We still are not at a place where Ted deserves a wife.
That's opinion. That's a different story.
I'm willing to say that as a fact.
Dress your hate mail to her. But no, the thing is that if, for instance, there was no indication from that pilot to here in the 8 years where the mother.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying there's no indication.
No, but
I see what
I'm saying that you can't have something about where. I mean, I know so little about rules and Nation. I didn't realize.
No,
happening. But no, it's just
it's
one of the
not.
things
Yeah.
you can't do that. It's
Yeah,
just,
and I'm not
that's-
intending to compare
no,
it.
I'm saying that's lazy writing. So yes, sitcoms, be smart, awesome. I don't know. You need to have character progression, no matter
Obviously, and that's my issue with I think all of these comedies that we're talking about right now is that to me none of these they're not even characters, and that's my issue. They're underdeveloped, and I need to see who they are before I even want to see them to progress and to evolve. And right now they're very focused on the situations.
Oh, I was trying to remember
That's
the first.
my
I was trying to remember the first top comedy we
Animal
talked about.
Practice.
Yeah,
But that's my issue is they're very focused on the situation, and the thing is, Partners, that works a little better in the sense that it's a situation comedy, so you're used to that from the format. But for me, Animal Practice and Neighbors, if you're going to do that single camera and it's not going to be joke, like you have to give me a character that I like and want to watch, and I don't have that right now in these characters.
Nope. So, well, maybe you disagree with us. In that case, you'll yell at us in the YouTube comments or our website comments or et cetera, et cetera. You are more than welcome. It is your right.
Yes.
But we evolve, so we'll come check back at some point later in the season, maybe see where we are.
Yeah, we'll do that report card thing again. That was fun.
Yeah, we got yelled at for that, so we can totally do
I
that.
didn't get yelled at for that.
Oh, I totally did.
Or maybe I just didn't read it.
You totally got yelled at.
You totally yell at me. It's fine.
I think you got yelled
Anyway,
at a little bit too. Anyways, thank you for watching our crazy ramblings. We appreciate it. If you want to see more of our crazy ramblings, you can follow us on Twitter at Marisa Rothman.
at Danielle TBD.
And
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.